Money FM 89.3. Best of breakfast. Companies to watch.
All right, lots brewing on companies to watch today, and helping us out is Dan Koh. Good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Tommy. How are you doing today?
All right.
Happy name day, Ryan.
Happy name day to you, Jackie.
Jackie, yeah. Ryan's been giving me older folks' names, I feel. But that being said, welcome to Companies to Watch. That's a segment where we spotlight and stock you up with ideas of listed companies that will call for your attention. So we're going to look at market trends and risks, as well as hidden gems or warning signs to steer clear of. So be part of the conversation as well, 8855-0893, and tell us whether you think it's going to be a hot or not. Ryan, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, Ryan, how much of a sweet tooth do you have?
I would say I've got a bit of a sweet tooth, not so much as before, but definitely is something I like and enjoy, yeah.
You big fan of bubble tea? Boba?
Yeah, I remember growing up, it was everywhere. Like every other neighborhood store was selling it. And there was this particular store I really liked. And it was called, I think, Happy Cup. And one of the items they sold was a cup full of pearls. It was nothing but pearls.
Pearls?
So all the way to the top.
Okay.
So it was...
Interesting.
If you love boba, then I think that is the item for you. But
is there a go-to flavor that you have when it comes to boba?
It was like stacked with boba.
Oh, just boba?
Just boba.
So boba flavored?
Boba flavored, yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Now, love it or hate it, though. You know that most millennials or Gen Zers are crazy about it. I mean, I myself, for one, would drink it. I wouldn't call myself an avid fan of it, but I would drink it at least twice a month, I guess. And that's a growing passion that has created at least half dozen billionaires in China in the past few years. And of course, is still at the heart of several other potential fortunes. Did you know that bubble tea was invented in Taiwan back in the late 1980s? Mm-hmm. And it started with small stalls selling near schools and offices. Now, as the trend started to take root in Hong Kong as well as mainland China in the 90s, chains began springing up. And the demand shows, Ryan, because just recently, China's largest bubble tea firm, Mixue Group, announced that it will begin book building for its Hong Kong initial public offering by the end of February to raise about $500 million.
Yeah, this is quite a big brand. It's the one, the Snowman, if you're not familiar with it.
Yeah, the red and white icon. Have you tried any of the drinks, Ryan?
Yeah, my go-to there is the kiwi flavored one, oolong cha.
Kiwi?
Oolong. Yes, it's quite nice. Don't knock it till you try it.
Oh, that's a bit strange to mix something so fruity with something that's milky.
It's got a few layers of flavor to it, so that's why I like it.
I'll give it a try over the weekend. But anyways, Mixue, which has about 40,000 stores across China, plans to start trading on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange in early March. And the bubble tea company had initially planned to raise up to $1 billion in its Hong Kong IPO. But apparently, the size of the share sale has been scaled back as the company is not in desperate need of cash. And so far, if you look at what the financial statements have been showing, Mixue's net profit was 3.5 billion yuan in the 9 months to September 30th last year. And that's up 42.3% year on year. That's 42.3% more people drinking bubble tea. So the firm plans to use the money raised in its IPO to expand production facilities, as well as to help increase its range of drinks. This also came against the backdrop of, a deal with rival bubble tea operator Kunming raising $232 million in its Hong Kong IPO, which priced at the top of its price range. Now, the IPO size was increased following strong demand from investors. So, have you tried Kunming before, right?
Not yet.
This is actually a China brand, and I think it runs under the Good Me brand, which has a roughly 9.1% market share as of the end of 2023 among China's top 5 bubble brands, trailing only Mixue's 20%. So if we look at, the Good Me brand, it has sold 182.4 million shares at $9.94 a piece. And the top range of the price that was flagged to investors when the deal was launched just last week. Now, Kunming is relatively smaller compared to Mixue, which has about 9,000 stores in China and increased the number of shares for sale in its IPO after strong demand from investors. So, talk about sweet treats. Kunming Holdings' $233 million Hong Kong IPO had actually bolstered the value of the stake owned by its millennial founder to $1.2 billion. Imagine just selling bubble tea and being a billionaire.
Yeah, so Mixue could be appearing on the market at the right time.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot here. If you had a bubble tea brand, Ryan, what would you call it?
Wow, that's a tough one. I would call it the best bubble tea shop in the world.
Okay, yeah, I think you need some working on that, right? Okay. But Huang joins the growing club of Chinese bubble tea billionaires who have sprouted in recent years amid the soaring demand for drinks. Hopefully, I could see Ryan on the list as well. But here's a warning, though. Guoming and Mixue's IPOs signaled the freeze on approving bubble tea firms' listing applications by regulators last year has now eased because initially regulators were concerned about the bubble tea firms listing in Hong Kong after Sichuan Baicha Baidao had fallen by 27% on its first day of trading in April last year, following its 330 million share sale. So, analysts cited concerns about growing competition, as well as still weak consumer sentiment in China, as some of the reasons for the disappointing start. But for now, I guess demand is still hot, and the verdict for bubble tea, at least for me, it's going to be hot.
Yeah, a bit more, I guess, on the fence here because there are so many brands out here and it's quite competitive. So I'm not sure how this is going to play out.
Yeah, this might be a mixed bag for some of us here, but that pretty much wraps it for our analysis of today. That would be bubble tea. Now, Ryan, do you know what Singapore's top 3 bubble tea flavors are?
The usual brown sugar bubble tea. I think that's quite popular.
Okay.
The next would be something like red tea. Does that count? And then green tea.
Wrong. Classic milk tea, black tea, taro milk tea.
Close.
Okay, Ryan, now, do you know why bubble tea is called bubble tea?
Because of the pearls, I guess.
No, because shaking the tea gives it a bubble froth on top of the drink, and that's why it's the name.
But you don't get much bubbles these days at the shops.
Unfortunately, they don't shake hard enough, Ryan. Okay, one last one, Ryan. What do boba shop owners use to predict the future?
What they do?
Tarot cards. And that's all we have for bubble tea.
Before acting on the information on Money FM, please consider if it's suitable for your own investment objectives, financial situation, and risk tolerance. To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.